you want that out of the way?
No, it's okay. It's good. Do you guys remember when you first moved out of your mom and dad's house? When I moved out of my mom's house, I was 18. I just graduated from high school. I packed up all my stuff and I moved into the very last women's only dorm at KU. And boy, was I in for some huge culture shock. I had been raised in a very strict religious home, and now all of a sudden I'm overwhelmed with drinking, smoking, drugging, sneaking in of boys overnight. I do not fit in at college, and I feel like I never do the whole time I'm there. Not only because of my religious upbringing, but also because of my weight. I had recently gained 100 pounds. I was the biggest girl in my dorm and usually in my classes. So I felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb, and some days I was so self-conscious I didn't even leave my room. After a few months of this though, I decided to do something about it. I went home and I got my bike and I brought it up to campus with grand plans to ride it to class every day for exercise. Well, if you've never seen KU, let me tell you the problem with that. KU is in a very hilly part of Kansas, and it's gigantic. The dorms are on top of one giant hill, and all my classes were on the top of another giant hill. So, as I planned my route, I knew I had to avoid the giant dip because there was no way I was hauling that body up the other side on a bike. So I planned a much longer alternate route that took me past the fraternities and sororities. So the day comes that I gather up the courage to head out across campus on my bike. And it is a beautiful fall day. The leaves haven't started turning yet, so everything is still lush and green and beautiful. The sun is shining, but it's only 70 degrees. Literally the most perfect weather of the year. And I'm so happy to be outside. So I get on my bike and I head out on my maiden voyage, and I am driving through Greek Row, all the fraternity and sorority houses that I mentioned. They are stunning. They are so luxurious, so rich, huge 30-bedroom mansions with like beautiful landscaping. They look like they came out of a luxury home magazine. Have you guys ever seen something so beautiful, but so far out of your reach that you literally ache with the loss of not having it and never being able to have it? That's how I feel as I pass these huge estates, driveway after driveway of Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, convertibles, beautiful, perfect people, with me on my little blue and green bike. So I'm out on my first trip through this wealthiest part of campus, enjoying the gorgeous weather, and all of a sudden I hear a car come barreling around the corner, and I look, and it's a red convertible full of J. Crew models. I mean, gorgeous, rich fraternity boys. And I instantly get this little twinge of panic, like I've just been caught trespassing. So I kind of hug the curb and hope that they don't notice me. Of course they notice me. And they make a beeline towards me like a heat-seeking missile locked onto the target apparently painted on my back. They pull up and they slow down next to me. And one of them yells at me, "Wow, I didn't know a cow could ride a bike." They all burst into laughter, and they drive away, yelling things like, "Go home, cow, that poor bike." I have never wanted more for the ground to open up and swallow me whole. But I could not let myself cry in that moment, because if they came back around and found me in tears, that would have been so much worse. So I took all my emotions and I pushed them down as tight as they would go. and vowed to never ride my bike again. On that day, I let other people's opinions about me control my decisions. I let the fear of what people would think about me stop me from doing something I felt called to do. How many times have you guys felt scared to do something big because you knew somebody might judge you for it and say, who do they think they are? Luckily, life gives us do-overs. Do-overs are awesome. I'm in the middle of a do-over right now. In case you haven't noticed, I am on another very long public fitness journey, and this time I am sharing every detail in excruciating honesty on social media. My struggles, my wins, my embarrassing stories about bodily functions, all the things. And yes, most people are super highly supportive, but you would be surprised how many criticisms and condemnations and nasty comments I get from people. Because apparently I am spreading toxic ideals of beauty. I am single-handedly destroying the body positivity movement, and I am telling all women that they're worthless if they're not skinny or on a diet. I am boggled by these reactions, but it's given me the opportunity to learn to let other people have their triggers with my journey and not get triggered by theirs. Because if we let other people's opinions of us shut us down, we're giving them all of our power. And we're not accomplishing the things we were sent here to do. So, have you guys heard of the phenomenon of crabs in a bucket? Okay, when a fisherman catches crabs, he doesn't have to put a lid on the bucket, because if one starts to climb out, what happens?
Then the crab grabs it and pulls it back down?
Yeah, the other crabs reach up and go, oh, nuh-uh. They pull him back down in, so the crabs can't escape. So the next time you guys go for a big, giant goal, and I hope you do, I hope you are, and somebody says, oh, why are you doing that? Yank. Who do you think you are? Yank. You have two choices. You can remember that their reactions and their criticisms have literally nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Maybe they've tried and failed before. Maybe they've never tried at all and are jealous. We may never know what their triggers are, but we can't let their triggers stop us. So you get to choose. Are you going to be the rock star inspiration that leads the way for all the people around you to become their best selves? Or are you going to be a stuck old crab in the bucket, small and unremarkable because you listen to other people's criticisms of you? I hope you all choose Rockstar. Thank you.